Welcome to training course, Digital Presentation, and Preservation of Europe Ritual Cuisine. Module 3 Editing of Digital Representations of Ritual Recipes. How to edit photographs and still images. Smartphone app open source for editing. Snapseed. In shot. At the end of the lesson, students will know the main techniques for the editing of photographs using free and open source app for smartphone as Snapseed and In shot. The object of our course is to provide the most appropriate skills for the digitization of ritual recipes, so the genre of photography closest to this aspect is food photography. We will therefore find ourselves having to take still images, with different situations of light and shadows. We do not have the typical task of the food photographer who has to create images for marketing or for the restaurant and then make the images captivating and appetizing. Our task will be to tell and document without forgetting to produce a quality and well-made image. We recall some few rules. Use natural light if it is possible. Take photos at a 45-degree or 90-degree angle. Use the rules of composition. The scene must be studied. Use focal lengths between 50 mm and 150 mm. Use a neutral color background. Use dark or neutral color dishes. Use proper white balance. As for the equipment, we could equip ourselves with a tripod or monopod, a small set of lights with softbox and reflector panel. However, we may not find ourselves with this equipment available, so it will be important to be able to have skills for editing our photographs in the post-production phase. Photographic post-production, which owes its wide diffusion with the advent of the digital image, is that activity that includes all those actions aimed at improving and modifying the photo just taken. Thanks to the use of expensive and sophisticated professional programs, but also thanks to open source and free programs, it is possible to modify lights, contrasts, intensity, vividness of the digital image. Post-production also took place when photographic film was used, but it was reserved for a few specialists, who had to use chemical components, cutters, and make a great artistic and technical effort together to modify a photographic image. Today just download a photo editing app, even free, on your smartphone to improve our photos. Photographic post-production is a decision-making process with respect to what the photo, with its colors and intensity, will have to communicate. The photographic post-production therefore transforms the photo into a real, very powerful means of communication, keeping intact its value as an object, a relic, memory, knowledge, document. Once we have taken our photos, we will immediately realize if the photo obtained corresponds to our intentions of departure or if we have made some errors in exposure or positioning of the lights. The only thing that we cannot correct except by using more complex and expensive software is the composition. If the composition is correct, we can either take the photo again or resort to post-production thanks to applications for smartphone. Snapseed is a photo editing app developed by Google and has now become one of the best and most popular free photo editors available for both iOS and Android. The application has 24 tools and various filters with which to improve the photos taken with your smartphone or tablet. It allows you to open and edit your photos manually or with preset color and exposure settings, as well as crop and rotate frames, adjust saturation, light and temperature of the photographs. The Snapseed app can be downloaded for free from the Android Play Store, or alternative stores, as well as from the iOS App Store on both iPad and iPhone, depending on the device you own. Snapseed is very simple, and its interface is really intuitive. Once you have opened the Snapseed app on your smartphone or tablet, by pressing plus, you will directly access the photo gallery to select the photos on which to start working. From the Styles menu you can choose from a satisfying choice of filters to apply to your photos, while in the Tools menu a series of advanced editing tools are available. All the editing tools that the Snapseed app is equipped with are easily usable by swiping. By swiping your finger from top to bottom, you choose the parameter to be changed or the filter to add. From right to left or vice versa, you can adjust the values of the chosen parameter. The correction of the parameters of brightness, contrast, saturation, environment, lights, shadows and heat, understood as the temperature of the light, are easily understood, and we can modify them to our liking to obtain the image we want. Besides the filters that are automated and that we can choose according to our taste and what we want to communicate, Snapseed has many effects that we can apply to our images in post-production. Those that could be useful for digitizing ritual recipes, in order to focus the viewer's attention on the dishes made, could be lens blur and vignetting. With the lens blur effect we can create a bokeh effect similar to that obtained with the opening of the diaphragm in reflex cameras. We can decide the center point around which the blur effect will be created and decide how much transition to leave between the rest of the scene and the object that will be sharp. This way we will create an effect that will draw the viewer's attention to the sharpest object. The vignetting effect creates a dark halo at the edges of the image. Even in this case we can identify a point in the photographed scene around which the vignetting effect will be created. Finally, there are two functions that are perhaps the most sophisticated on Snapseed, those that alone will allow you to obtain photos with an almost professional quality and rendering. Healing allows you to correct each portion of the photo and eliminate unwanted elements. After selecting the tool in question, enlarge the photo as desired with 2 fingers and identify the element to be deleted. At this point, just press on it to delete it. Selective allows you to make corrections in an extremely precise way in specific areas of the photo. Once selective has been selected, press on, plus, and then on the desired area, to associate a control point to it. At this point, swiping on the screen with your finger from bottom to top or vice versa, choose the parameter you want to change and adjust it by sliding your finger from right to left. Remember that you can select up to 8 points on each photo. Once you have completed all the changes and you have obtained the image you expected, you can save the image as a copy of the original, or you can share it with your contacts via email or publish it on the social networks you are connected to. Also, for saving and sharing images, this application demonstrates its simplicity and ease of use. Ultimately, Snapseed is a very powerful and above all free application. Its use does not require in-depth knowledge. With practice and frequent use, it becomes an indispensable tool for the reworking of our images, to which we can give different forms depending on what we want to communicate. With the HDR function we can add the effect, bordering on hyperrealism, of multiple exposures to your single shot. The drama effect will enhance the drama of your shot, the grunge effect will make it stronger and more extreme. But let's not overdo the features. We apply the right functions in order to improve and not distort our image, reminding us of the reason and purpose for which we took the image. Another free application, and even easier to use, although less powerful than Snapseed, is InShot. Having this application on our smartphone for image editing is also very useful because it can also be used for video editing. The InShot app can be downloaded for free from the Android Play Store, or alternative stores, as well as from the iOS App Store on both iPad and iPhone, depending on the device you own. Most of the users use InShot to edit and publish videos instantly for different social networks like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram or YouTube, as it has different formats: landscape, portrait and square. With InShot we can edit photos with infinite possibilities, apply filters, crop, rotate or flip the photo, adjust tone, brightness, color, saturation, contrast, etc. Choosing the tools is particularly easy, Just swipe with your fingers and we have the possibility to choose whether to apply automated filters to improve our image. If we want to modify the parameters of the photographic image such as brightness, contrast, saturation, we must select adjust, and we can act here parameters very easily. By selecting canvas we can instead change the format of our image. InShot allows you to choose the format of our image to better adapt it to the social network on which we wish to share our photograph. We can also insert a colored background or choose a frame for our image. Even for this application that is easy to use and full of features, we must always have in mind what our purpose is, the reason why we are modifying our image. We must therefore avoid exaggerating with effects and obtaining an image that is different and far from that original. The post-production of an image in fact aims to improve the image in the event that it was taken with some technical error, but it must not distort the image and make it different from what our eyes had observed, but above all from what the spectators, to whom the image is intended, must see. Like all tools you have to practice, so download the application, take pictures and explore all the functions of this application to be able to use its functions to the fullest. The course was created by the consortium of the Eurica project funded by the Erasmus Plus program. Thanks for the attention.